Hello, my freedom loving brothers and sisters, those that love life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Well, I'm just sitting here on this Saturday afternoon in my man cave, and I recently conducted a legitimate scientific experiment. What I did was I took my Beretta 9mm semi-automatic, fully loaded, put it in a holster, and set it on top of a desk. Now remember, science is knowledge that's gained by observation and experiment and analysis. So I wanted to watch that fully loaded 9mm semi-automatic in a holster. I wanted to watch it, observe it for 24 hours, or within a 24-hour period, I should say. I didn't stay up for 24 hours. But I wanted to lay it in one spot and observe it from time to time to see what the conclusion was. So after 24 hours, the empirical evidence, the final analysis, the final data was conclusive in the fact that at no time did that firearm slip out of the holster. At no time was the trigger engaged, and at no time a projectile was sent down the barrel of that 9mm, and at no time was someone injured, hurt, maimed, or killed. Wow. I want you to know that I am a scientist now. And I am an absolute authority on firearms. I'm an expert. I am a qualified scientist. I followed the rules of science. I followed the science, and I concluded with the data, the empirical evidence. And lo and behold, nothing that could be classified in any way, shape, or form as a tragedy occurred. Wow. I don't know what to say. I mean, at this moment, I'm experiencing some level of Buddha consciousness here. It's like a supernatural revelation. It's so profound that firearm could lay in one spot, fully loaded, for 24 hours and never hurt, injure, maim, or kill anyone. Whew, I know. Now look, I know. I'm putting myself out there. I'm putting myself on a limb. I'm sounding like a fanatic. I had to do it. I've been toying with this idea for a long time, and I finally committed myself to put myself out on a limb and conduct this scientific experiment. Now, here's the other issue. Do you realize that we have Harvard, Princeton, Yale graduates in our government? They want to take away these most destructive, dangerous armaments. I wonder if they've ever conducted this type of experiment. They need to do that. Because right now, I'm serious. Right now, I'm feeling like a bona fide genius. I mean, I don't mean to put a feather in my cap, pat myself on the back, blah, blah, blah. But I'm a genius. I am a scientist. I am an expert. I have total authority over what happens with a firearm when no one touches it. Oh, jeez. But these politicians, they are so educated, but they have about as much common sense as the hair on a gnat's behind. when it comes to science. They don't understand science. Now, they tell us to follow the science, but they don't want to follow the science. Of course not, because you see, there's a certain percentage of politicians who are liars. Yeah, I know that's surprising, right? They're liars, they're hypocrites, they're power hungry, they're greedy, they steal, they rob, they plunder, and they want to take your freedoms away. So they can have all the freedom to do what they want to do. But then I got to thinking, do you realize that on the planet, in countries and nations that have access to bombs and nuclear power, that at no time, okay, hear me now, hear me out, be patient with me, but at no time does that nuclear power or one of those bombs go off until someone loads it up and presses the button. Oh my God. I know. It's profound. What a concept. I know. I get it. I know. Sorry, I stuck my finger in front of the camera. But anyway, likewise, I would bet all the politicians that are against firearms and classify them as deadly and dangerous to society. I would wager every one of their incomes and all of their wealth that if we took all the firearms on the planet, put them in warehouses, fully loaded, even keep the doors unlocked, but unless it was an act of God or nature, and there was a tremendous explosion and people were within the vicinity of that explosion, but at no time, with all those firearms in those warehouses, at no time would anyone be injured, maimed, or killed until somebody walked in there, selected a firearm, pointed it at an individual, and squeezed the trigger. Whew. I know I'm really putting myself out on a limb here. I get it. I know. Likewise, no bomb, no nuclear explosion can take place until someone pushes the button. So I would wager all of their wealth to let me prove that experiment. That not one of them firearms, I don't care if they laid there for decades, centuries, as long as they were untouched or no act of God or nature occurred, those firearms would lay there, collect dust, and rust, and not one individual would be hurt, maimed, injured, or killed until somebody selected one of those firearms, pointed it at an individual, squeezed the trigger. Then the conclusion would be different. Whew. Buddha consciousness. I'm having a moment here.